If you're chasing a sub-4 marathon, your training plan isn't where you'll likely fail, it's your nutrition. Most runners just guess their fueling and hope for the best. Now, I'm not saying you can never eat a burger again. Eating this today isn't going to kill your 16-week training block, but if you ignore your nutrition from here till race day, you're leaving that sub-4 goal entirely up to luck. I've ran 12 marathons now, 8 under sub-4 hours. And those 500 plus kilometers have taught me one hard truth. Luck always runs out at kilometer 30. On my first serious attempt at sub-4, I nailed my mileage, but I fueled with whatever was in the fridge. I was exhausted. It clicked right then. You can't put cheap fuel in a performance engine and expect to hit 5:41 pace for 42.2 kilometers. Building that sub-4 engine starts in your kitchen every single week. I'm not here to give you a strict meal plan because the rules are simple. Carbs before a run to fuel the engine, protein after to fix it. You need real protein, and for me that's chicken, eggs, fish. I made a post-run protein shake a non-negotiable so I hit my numbers, and added creatine to keep my muscles powerful for those grueling interval sessions. Throw in complex carbs like oats, brown rice and sweet potatoes, plus enough fruit and veg to keep the immune system from crashing. Over time, as the weeks tick by, you'll naturally make better nutrition choices. You'll quickly realize a supersized meal the night before a long run gives you zero favors. The same goes for hydration. You can't just chug a liter of water on race morning. You have to hit your baseline consistently for 16 weeks so your muscles actually absorb it and your joints stay lubricated. And don't skip the hidden stuff. I started taking magnesium because late night cramps disrupted my sleep, and vitamin C to hold off the marathon flu. If you don't get these basics right now, during your training, the wheels are going to come off the second you try and push for sub-4 pace on race day. Let's look at a few days before the race, the infamous carb loading phase. It baffles most people, but it's actually quite simple. Most people do the pasta party the night before. I used to do that, sitting there at 10 p.m. eating a big bowl of spaghetti, cramming in as many carbs as I could 8 hours before the marathon started. I'd feel like I was about to burst, and I thought I was doing the right thing. In the morning, I'd spend the first half of the marathon feeling sluggish and heavy. That's not a sub-4 carb load, that's a mistake. The real way to do it starts 72 hours out, not in the final few hours before the big day. You need a massive amount of carbs, between 7 to 10 grams per kilogram of body weight every day. To hit those numbers, you'll be reaching for the classics like big bowls of white rice, plates of pasta, and a few bagels. Bagels are a marathoner's best friend during a load because they give you the biggest carb bang for your buck. But if you try and do this with solid food only, trust me, you're going to feel like a brick by day 2. You'll reach the stage where you can't even look at another bagel, let alone eat it. My advice, drink your carbs. Switch to fruit juices, orange juice, apple juice, or high carb sports drinks. Drinking a litre of these a day is the easiest way to hit your numbers without all that heavy fibre sat in your stomach. And then there's the marathon morning breakfast. This isn't the time for a full English or something experimental. Keep it simple and keep it to something you tested during your training. You want something high carb, low fibre and easy to digest 3 hours before the marathon starts. For me, it's a couple of plain bagels with a bit of jam or a bowl of oats with a big mug of coffee. Once that gun goes off, the clock to your sub-4 dream starts. But your fueling strategy actually starts before you cross that start line. Take an energy gel, carb drink or banana 10 minutes before the start. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes for these carbs to turn into useful, usable energy. So they'll hit your bloodstream right as you start moving. Don't forget, your gut can only process so much at once. I've seen so many runners, me included, try to make up for misfueling by slamming 3 gels at kilometer 25. Don't do this. All that does is leaves a big pool of sugar in your stomach, unable to digest. You'll end up looking for a Portaloo, not a personal best. To stay on track for a sub-4, you're going to need to be taking in about 80 grams of carbs per hour for the entire marathon. To hit these numbers safely, I take an energy gel every 25 minutes with a sip of water. Keep an eye on your energy gel labels. Some of them have 22 grams of carbs, some 30, and some even 40 grams of carbs. And some might contain caffeine. You have to keep your glycogen topped up with a steady drip. Otherwise, you may hit the dreaded wall, and the wall doesn't care about your sub-4 goal. I personally use use a mix of glucose and fructose energy gels because it's quick to absorb in your body. I also carry a carb drink, 100 grams of liquid carbs, so I'm not relying 100% on gel, and plus it gives me electrolytes and some hydration. But the part I learned the hard way, sodium. When we sweat, we're not just losing water, we're losing the vital ions and electrolytes that keep your muscles firing. Without them, the electrical signal from your brain to your legs starts to break up, and that is when your sub-4 pace starts to slip. I used to chug just plain water at every aid station. By kilometer 32, my fingers would start to swell up and my quads would start to twitch. That's your body screaming for salt. Aim for 500 to 700 milligrams of sodium per hour. I usually supplement with salt capsules or high sodium electrolyte tabs at every other aid station. Set a timer on your watch so you don't forget. Don't gamble with your sub-4 finish. The second you cross that finish line and you see 3 hours something on the clock, a new timer starts. I've made the mistake many times of crossing the line, grabbing a medal and hitting the pub for a couple of pints and a burger. I felt like a zombie for the next 2 weeks because I let my body stay in a total state of breakdown. It doesn't have to be like this. Think about what you've just done. You spent the last 4 hours tearing your muscle fibers apart to hit that sub-4 goal. Your immune system is completely shattered. You have a critical 60-minute window to flip the switch from destruction to repair. If you miss this window, your body starts to eat its own muscle just to find the nutrients it needs to fix the damage. You need to get 20 to 30 grams of high quality protein and at least 60 grams of fast-acting carbs into your body as soon as you can. A recovery shake and a flapjack in your drop bag can make all the difference. It's like giving your body the building blocks while the construction crew is still on site. When I hit that window, I go from being out of commission for 2 weeks to being back on light runs within 5 days. What you eat in the minutes after the marathon can be the difference between a broken runner for a month or a recovering sub-4 athlete. And once you've ticked that box, grab yourself a burger. You've earned it. A sub-4 marathon isn't given to you. You can buy the fastest shoes in the world, the most expensive training plans, but if your fuel is junk, your race will be too. Having the occasional bad meal is absolutely fine. We're all human. But it's the consistent work you do in the kitchen for those 16 weeks that actually gets you your sub-4 medal. Sort the diet, fix the engine, and that sub-4 becomes a reality.